So basically, I recorded this one time, and it took me over 30 minutes to say everything that I wanted to say, and I thought that was way too long. So I'm I got summarized it, from ChatGPT. I got it to summarize everything I said, so I have a script, and I'm just gonna read off of that. So yeah. I don't really know how many people are actually gonna watch this, but I wanted to explain what all my recent songs have been about. A lot of my older songs aren't really based on real events. I kind of just wrote down whatever sounded good, but I would say 50% of them um are based on how I feel towards a certain person. Even though I probably shouldn't. Let me explain about that. Basically, at the beginning of my freshman year, maybe a little bit in, I became friends with this girl. We can call her L. And we stayed friends for a long time, but eventually we started catching feelings for each other. The problem was that she had a boyfriend and I had a girlfriend, so it wasn't right. We shouldn't start anything. But things kept going, and we kind of decided if we were really serious about each other, we'd end our relationships first. I would break up with my girlfriend, she'd break up with her boyfriend, and then we could really get together if that's what we wanted. Or I'd wanted that. So I kept my promise, and I broke up with my girlfriend. Which, to be fair, me and her were kind of struggling, and so it wasn't that hard of a decision. But she didn't end hers. She kind of stayed with him. That hurt, but we still got closer, and we started actually saying, I love you, hanging out, kissing. So we started kissing and stuff like that. And basically she was cheating on her boyfriend. And for the first time in a long time, I actually felt happy. We were getting into something that felt so great, and I felt so awesome. Then after about a week to 2 weeks of that, she told me she couldn't keep doing it because she felt guilty about her boyfriend. That fucking hurt. Now, looking back, I know getting involved with someone who was already in a relationship wasn't the right thing to do, so I regret it, but at the time, I really cared about her. After everything stopped, we didn't talk for a few days because she thought that I hated her, and I thought she wanted nothing to do with me. Once we cleared that up, we became friends again. About a month later, things started happening all over again. We got close, hardening each other's texts, started maybe saying I love you a little bit. And she actually promised me this time would be different. She swears she was really done with him. She didn't want to do she didn't want to do it anymore because he was not treating her well. And I believed her because, well, I loved her. Less than a day later, she changed her mind, went back on that promise for the same exact reason, and said she couldn't do that because of her boyfriend. That completely crushed me. I still stayed friends with her because I couldn't let go. But eventually, there was another night where we were hanging out with friends. I went over to my friend's house, and me and him snuck out, and her sister snuck out. And we we're holding hands, hugging, walking together, talking by ourselves. And to me, it felt like we were heading in the same direction again. But the next day, she told me none of that meant anything. And that she acts like that with everyone. And at that point, I was mentally exhausted. I kept trying because I still cared about her, but eventually I realized I couldn't keep doing it. I even asked her to block me because I knew I wasn't strong enough to walk away myself. Yeah, I'm a pussy. For a while, we barely spoke, and then she transferred schools. Not long after that, she had actually broken up with her boyfriend. That was probably the hardest part for me because the one thing that had supposedly stopped us from being together and being something wasn't stopping her anymore. And I know the reason was because she never even cared about me. I tried to move on, but then more problems started. She heard that I wanted to talk to her ex-boyfriend. I don't really remember this part so well because this was kind of just a random thing that happened. But I remember I was like trying to get a hold of her ex-boyfriend's number. I wasn't trying to like expose her or start drama. I just wanted to talk to him. I can't remember the reason why. I think it was something along. Oh, fuck. I don't know, but I swear on everything I wasn't trying to like start some shit. But she thought I was, and after that, things got worse. People started telling me that she was saying I'd called her names that I never called her. This happened because one day, after I was done with everything, I went up to her and I was like, hey, like respectively, fuck you. I don't know what I did to you, but you've hurt me so bad. I said something like that. But she told people that I called her a bitch and stuff, which wasn't true. And people started turning against me. People were insulting me at school, and I felt like everyone had already decided that I was the bad guy without hearing my side. Eventually, people started asking me what had actually happened between us. At that point, I was done staying quiet, so I told people the truth, from my perspective at least. I wasn't trying to start drama. I just wanted to clear my name after hearing things about myself that weren't true. She got angry that I was telling people about it, but I felt like if people were already hearing one side of the story, I had the right to tell my side of the story too. Later, even more rumors started spreading about me, things that I genuinely didn't say, especially one about how people told her that I said that she was sleeping or slept with some random guy I don't even know. I would never say that, and I know that's not true because that's not something that she would do. Eventually, she got word that I allegedly said that from whoever was spreading that rumor. And rightfully she was mad. But she didn't even let me explain that I didn't do it. She tried to get people to jump me, and then the situation just kind of, it kind of went away after that. She tried to get people to jump me, and then it kind of just dropped. But, she's definitely a lot more mad at me now, even though I didn't do anything. But yeah. Then another rumor arose. Some girl was telling me that her told me that I told her that I groomed her and forced her into sexual shit, which what the fuck. Not only did she start those things from the start, but she also had full control over what happened. But honestly, I don't even care anymore. I don't want her back or anything, but I just want to be friends with her. I want to explain that I didn't do it, and I just want to not have constant fear. I have dreams almost every night where I'm so close to catching up to her and explaining that I didn't do it, but she's always out of reach. And I know that sounds like some movie bullshit, but I'm being genuine. And I want to make things clear. I don't hate her, and I don't want her back. I just want to be friends, simple as that. And I have never had any intention of causing problems or hurting her. I just wish things would have happened differently. But yeah. And you've got to keep in mind that this is a extremely dumbed down version of the story. If I really were to explain everything that happened, it would be like 7 hours long, because I would have to go through like months and months of stuff. This is just all of like the major events and all the key things that happened. But yeah.